Welcome to Endless Love Stories. Before we begin this incredible tale of love, betrayal, and hidden fortunes, please hit that like button and subscribe to Endless Love Stories for more amazing, real-life romance stories that will leave you speechless. I know what you're thinking. Why hide something so amazing? Well, growing up taught me that money changes people, and not always for the better. I'd seen too many relationships crumble when wealth entered the picture. So I kept my success secret, living modestly in a small apartment while my company thrived. David fell in love with Sarah the person, not Sarah the millionaire, and that meant everything to me. Our relationship was pure magic for 2 years. David would surprise me with hand-picked flowers from his neighborhood walks, and I'd cook us dinner while he shared his architectural dreams. We laughed until our stomachs hurt, supported each other through tough times, and built what I thought was an unbreakable bond. When he proposed last Christmas with his grandmother's simple gold ring, I said yes without hesitation. This man loved me for who I truly was, or so I believed. But then I met his mother, Margaret, and everything changed. Margaret was a sharp-eyed woman who seemed to analyze everything like a business transaction. She kept asking pointed questions about my work, my family's background, and my financial stability. Something about her calculating stare made my skin crawl, but David brushed off my concerns, saying she was just protective. I decided to hire a private investigator to do some background checking. Call it intuition or paranoia, but something felt wrong. What I discovered shattered my world. Margaret had been secretly investigating me for months, and worse, she'd been coaching David on how to secure his future through marriage. The private investigator found records of her consultations with divorce attorneys, discussions about prenups, and even research into my fake consultant business. She suspected I had hidden assets and was planning to get her hands on whatever she could find. The most heartbreaking part? David knew about her plans and was going along with them. 2 weeks before our wedding, Margaret made her move. She showed up at my apartment with a briefcase, a notary, and legal documents. "Sarah, dear," she said with a cold smile, "we need to discuss some important matters before you marry my son." She spread out papers demanding full financial disclosure, access to my bank accounts, and a revised prenup that would give David claim to any hidden assets I might have. The notary sat there with his stamp ready, and Margaret's eyes gleamed with greed. "I know you're hiding something," she continued. "No one lives this simply without having money stashed away. David deserves to know what he's marrying into. And frankly, our family deserves security." Her words were like daggers, but what hurt most was realizing David had sent her. He was too cowardly to face me himself, so he sent his mother to do his dirty work. This wasn't love, this was a calculated gold-digging operation. But here's where my story takes a turn they never saw coming. I looked Margaret straight in the eye and said, "You want full disclosure? Fine." I pulled out my laptop and showed her my TechFlow Solutions portfolio, $16.8 million in company value, multiple properties, and investment accounts they'd never dreamed of. Margaret's jaw dropped, and her greedy eyes lit up like Christmas morning. "Now," I continued, "let me show you what happens next." I had already prepared for this moment. Months earlier, sensing something was off, I'd restructured my entire business through offshore trusts and legal entities that would be impossible to touch in a divorce. Every asset was protected, every loophole closed. I'd also been recording our conversations for weeks, gathering evidence of their gold-digging scheme. Margaret's face went white as I explained how their little plan had actually exposed them as fortune hunters, and how I had legal proof of their attempted fraud. "David," I called out, knowing he was listening from the hallway. He sheepishly appeared, unable to meet my eyes. Did you really think I was stupid enough not to notice your mother's investigation? Did you think I wouldn't discover your consultations with divorce lawyers before we were even married? His silence said everything. This man I'd planned to spend my life with had been calculating how to steal from me while whispering sweet nothings in my ear. I handed them both a letter from my attorney. This documents your attempted fraud and conspiracy to commit theft through marriage. If you ever contact me again or spread any lies about me, this evidence goes public and to the authorities. Margaret grabbed her papers and practically ran from my apartment, with David trailing behind like a scolded child. The wedding was off, obviously, and I blocked them both from my life forever. The aftermath was surprisingly liberating. I realized I'd been living a lie, hiding who I truly was out of fear. I decided to be open about my success while staying grounded in my values. 6 months later, I met James at a charity event I was sponsoring. He's a teacher who knew about my wealth from day one, but fell in love with my passion for helping others and my genuine personality. We've been together for 8 months now, and he's never once asked about my money or tried to benefit from my success. The lesson I learned changed my perspective forever. The right person will love you for who you are, wealthy or poor, but the wrong person will only see dollar signs. Margaret and David thought they were so clever, but their greed exposed their true nature and saved me from a lifetime of manipulation. Sometimes hiding your assets isn't about being deceptive. It's about protecting yourself from people who would exploit your heart for financial gain. Looking back, I'm grateful for Margaret's greed and David's weakness. They showed me their true colors before I made the biggest mistake of my life. Now I'm with someone who values my heart over my bank account, and I've learned to trust my instincts when something feels wrong. Money doesn't buy love, but it sure reveals who's genuinely loving you. If this story touched your heart or taught you something valuable about love and relationships, please like this video and subscribe to Endless Love Stories. Share this with someone who needs to hear that true love exists, but sometimes you have to go through the fake to find the real. Comment below and tell us about your own experiences with love and trust. We read every single comment, and your stories inspire our content. Until next time, keep believing in endless love.